The topic for today's video is how to almost guarantee success with an online business model, the one that I talk about being Amazon FBA. As you guys know, I think Amazon FBA is the best business model for online sales at this moment. It just has the highest rate of success. It has the biggest percentage of people that start turning into successful business people. And I'm going to share my tips in this video of how you can basically guarantee that you're either going to break even or make profit, whether that be a small amount of profit or a large amount. I think the main sticking point that a lot of people have when they're getting into an online business is that they don't want to lose money. So if they knew going into it that they would source a product, they would learn how everything goes, and at the end of the day, they made back the money that they invested. They didn't lose anything, they lost their time, but they gained all this experience. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. So in today's world of e-commerce sales, a lot of people have moved away from Amazon. It's not as flashy as something like drop shipping, where you can make insane amounts of money if you know what you're doing, but let's be honest, you're probably not going to. What I recommend is going for something easier, something such as Amazon FBA, where there is a clear path to success. And in this video, I'm going to share 4 or 5 main components to making sure that you are, at the very worst, going to break even with your Amazon business. So stay tuned, we're going to break it all down. So quickly, before I give you the first point, I want to at least give myself some credit by saying that I have now launched over 30 products. As of now, all except one of those products is still selling on Amazon. So the reason that that product is no longer selling is because it was a product where it might fit customers different. I'm not going to give away the product because some smart people will probably be able to trace that back and figure out what products I sell. But what I'm saying is, I have a very high success rate when it comes to Amazon. That's not me bragging, just showing that I have put the right processes in place to ensure that I'm going after easy niches that are competitive enough to get sales, but are not too competitive to where I'm failing. So in my mind, a $500 a month profit is better than a 10% chance at a $10,000 a month profit. And that's the way I run my business. I just run and launch a lot of products, and over time those build up, because once they're built, they continue to create passive income for a long time. And I have no problem putting in the effort to launch product after product and let the amount of money that I'm making stack up and up over time. Quick side note, by the way, don't sell anything that might come in different sizes or fitments. Don't sell t-shirts or something where the customer is going to complain that it doesn't fit and they're going to send it back. That's the reason that the one product that I no longer sells, is because I had too high of a return rate, and that loses you money. The product was still profitable, but I decided to pull it because it just wasn't worth my time anymore and all the headaches. But getting back to where we were, we're going after the easier products, and when you go in those niches, you have a much higher % chance of succeeding. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but at the very least, if you're going into the right product niche, that's going to be the #1 factor when it comes to ensuring that no matter what product you get into, even if it doesn't go as well as you planned, you're still going to be able to, make some adjustments so that you can at least make your initial investment back, and then everyone's happy. You've gained the experience to keep going and maybe launch another product, but at the very least, you haven't lost any money. You haven't gone into debt or anything like that. So that's what a lot of people are scared of. And yeah, take your product research very seriously. I've talked about it in other videos, so you can go watch specific videos on product research. But yeah, that's #1. So the #2 point I want to talk about here is based around money. When you're investing in a product, you're going to essentially buy a bulk of units, and that bulk of units could be 500 units for a product that costs $1 each. Then you only have to invest 500. That's a much easier place to go than if you were to have to go into a niche where you gotta source 1,000 units and they're $10 each. That's 20 times the investment amount. So you guys can already see that the amount of risk that you're gonna take on with your first batch of inventory completely depends on how expensive that product is. Now, don't go for the cheapest products if you can find better niches. You gotta weigh your risk to reward ratios, but it's gonna be a lot easier on yourself if you're only got $500 skin in the game as opposed to $10,000. So that's the first part of the pricing that I want to talk about. The second part is your profit margin and your sale price. So yes, you need to factor in the cost of the goods. You need to factor in the shipping to Amazon part. That all counts as part of upfront costs you're going to have with your Amazon product. You also need to keep in the back of your mind that there will be some small storage fees at Amazon's warehouses the longer your stuff sits there. And if it is and sits there for a long time and you don't sell for like a year, you'll get hit with some big storage fees for long-term storage fees. So those kind of are the costs related to your product. Then you have your pricing. So if you can launch this product, we'll just give it a arbitrary number of $20 sale price, and Amazon maybe takes $5 or $6. We'll say $6 to be safe. Every time you make a sale for shipping it, packing it, sending it to the customer, that stuff, you need to ensure that you have profit margin there, and the competitors in your niche have a healthy profit margin as well. Because let's take the example where we said earlier, maybe you invested only $1,000, we'll say, into this product. You bought 500 units at $2 each, and the sale price is $20. After fees of $6, that brings you up to $8, but you're selling it for $20. So you have a very healthy profit margin of, in this example, $12. It probably wouldn't be, but just say it is. If things go very poorly, maybe you judged the niche wrong and you're having a very tough time selling. Maybe you're stuck on page 4 and nobody's looking at your listing, or you did a poor job of optimizing your product. You can make changes on the fly, but let's say worst case scenario, you can't improve the product. At least you have that $12 profit margin where maybe you can't sell it at $20, but if worst comes to worst, you can sell it at $10 and make a very small profit, or even sell at break-even price with some PPC costs mixed in there. But what I'm saying is, if you have that big cushion of product margin when you launch the product, if things go poorly, you can lower that price and you're still in the positive, and hopefully that'll start to get your units selling. And then at that point, maybe you start to rank better, get some more reviews, and then you can actually raise the price and it goes successful from there. But even if not, hopefully over time you're able to sell out slowly, sell a couple units a day even, and recoup all of the product costs to the point where you broke even, you didn't fail, and you end up with more money in your pocket than you started. Whereas if you started with a product that only had a $2 profit margin and you can't sell, well, now if you start to lower the price to try to get more sales, to just get rid of your inventory, you're stuck. You're losing money if you drop the price $5. So that's the number 2 part, is be very, very careful about costs. Make sure you have that healthy profit margin, and that will ensure that if things don't go as perfectly as planned, you can drop the price and still not lose money on your first product. Now, for my third point, I'm trying to remember what it felt like before I had sold anything online before. And I do know that even though I had researched so much of the process, I was still skeptical in terms of truly thinking like, is this a scam? Am I really able to send products to their warehouse, customers order it, and then money just shows up in my bank account? Obviously, once it happens, it becomes a reality, and it's a total mind change because you realize, oh my God, this is possible. Now I just need to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. However, I do know that you guys, if you haven't ever sold anything online before, you're still not at the point where it seems like a possibility to sell a product online and make money. But what I'm trying to say here is once you start selling, it really comes down to a very, very simple process. You need to put your product on Amazon It needs to get seen by customers. Those customers are comparing your product to similar products. If your product beats them in terms of value, which only comes down to price, reviews, and basically what you're conveying your product is, mostly from images and maybe some bullet points. If you beat them in terms of value versus quality, they're gonna buy your product. People come to Amazon to buy products. So if you put a better offer in front of your competitors, you're gonna sell. And so what am I getting at here? If you've done product research properly, you've identified a niche that is profitable, it has a good profit margin, it's not super competitive, which means you can get ranked up the list, page 1 over time, hopefully the top of page 1, and that is a very important part in itself, but that's the first step, is if you can get ranked, and there are strategies to do so, I'll cover that in future videos, but that means that you're gonna be one of the first things that shows up when people search for an item, and that's the first piece of the pie. Second, if you are ranking and people are getting eyes on your product, they're now deciding between your product and the other top products. So once again, if you've done good product research, you're gonna know that, okay, these products, I can add this, or I can change this, or I can make it look better, or my images can convey what my product does better than the competitors. And as long as you've executed on that, and you now sell a phone case that has a cool design, or don't sell that, but you know what I'm saying, your product beats them, then you've really upped the chances of your product being bought over them. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but say I want to buy this phone holder that I'm using currently to record myself, and there's a bunch on the market, maybe there's 5 that I'm considering buying. The other 4 are kind of the same, they have a little tripod thing, but yours has a tripod and it also has an upgrade where you added like grippy things to hold the phone, and they're more grippy or something than the other products. Even if those other products have 50, 100, 200 reviews, but your product has a better feature and you've shown that in your photos and in your listing, and the price is competitive, even if they have more reviews, I'm gonna buy this product that's better. But if you have the exact same product and it's nothing special, I'm just gonna buy the ones with better reviews because I know that they're good. But that's where you can really enter a new niche, is what I'm saying. So put a better thing in front of customers' eyes and get it seen, and you're gonna sell. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People are gonna buy what's best on the market, and that's all you need to focus on as an Amazon seller. So if you've done the product research properly, you've improved the product, it is better than your competitors, then all you need to do is get it seen by those competitors, or those customers. And there's ways to do that. You got to rank it up the page. But if you're getting eyes on your product and you have a better product than the competitors, regardless of reviews, you're going to sell. You're going to start to make profit. Or like I talked about in the previous point, based on your price, you're going to at least break even. But the way I see people get trapped and stuck and they're not selling, or they're losing a ton of money and they're putting all this money into PPC and it's not working, it's because your value is not as good as the competitors. You're either not getting in front of people's eyes, or you don't have anywhere near the amount of reviews to compete with people, which is why we only enter niches that have low reviews, or your product just simply isn't better than them. And that's all there is to it. There's no other factors. So I hopefully have explained that point well, but put a good product in front of customers and it will sell. Okay, so I basically just placed the camera down, spoke my thoughts out, and it turns out that that was the 3 main parts of almost guaranteeing that you will at least break even or be profitable and successful with your product. I didn't know how many bullet points there was going to be, but there's your 3. Those are really what it comes down to, and it's the reason why I've been able to launch so many products successfully. If I had to pick the one major factor, I'm good at most of the Amazon game, But the one part I really excel in is identifying with product research and the right filters when I'm looking through products. Identifying those niches that are really easy to rank in, really easy to beat my competitors in, and have a nice profit margin. That's really all it comes down to. If you guys are doing your product research, you should be using Helium-10, like I showed in my last 2 videos. That's how I'm finding profitable products all the time. You can find so many profitable products on there. If you guys want to start playing around with Helium-10, even if you just want to see what it's about, go to the website, check them out. I will have a discount code in the description below. So at the very least, just click on it, go to that link. If you're not interested in the product research software, you don't need to buy it, but that is a great first step, and it's a nice 50% off for 1 month if you use the description, the code down there below. So with that said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe for more Amazon stuff. I'm going to continue to put out more content over time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. All right, signing off. See you guys later.